take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it. You know I used to drink too much, take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much, take a ride in my car. We're gonna get real. Oh, I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you. Oh, I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh, I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Come on, baby. Let's take a ride. I don't know where we're gonna go, but first, let's dance. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much, and you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optolong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Things are becoming intense. I rip my jeans on your fence, hiding away from your man. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, tell the tale of 1,000 lonely days. Yeah, she's a real thing. Yeah, only I can make a change. If you want to be together, it's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, Deborah, I'm getting caught in the rain, standing here calling your name. Guess I got no one to blame. Yeah, it's a small town. Yeah, all the people turn and stare. Oh, it's a secret. Hey, let them see me. I don't care. If you want to be together, it's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, if you want to be together, it's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, say if you want to be together. I'm feeling really good, but it feels so bad. Yeah, so good to be together with you. Get the feeling. We did it before, and we can do it again. I'm tearing out my hair, 'cause I don't know when so good. You want to be together. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so good to be together. Yeah, so damn good. If you want to be together, it's so good, it's so good, yeah.
telescope now. Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
Another lost lone ranger. Can I break this spell? Do one thing right, do I make you two things wrong? If I want that fine line, do I will always take the fall? If I don't do left, I can live from the right. I sleep all day long, and I'm dreaming through the night.
I wonder what it was that made me want you. She couldn't understand what made me hard. She's climbing in and out my open window. I'm lying here alone and cold and drained. Yeah. So take another breath and come up for your oxygen. And now you wanna kiss the flesh and blood of every man, every man. And when the moon is full and the wolves will howl, she swam across the lake just to get to my house. Yes. And she said, I want more. Give me more. Disgusting stuff. I want more. A little bit of. Give me more. Disgusting stuff. Disgusting stuff. She looks upon a world that's dark and tangled. I never saw her turn her head in shame. She's coming in and out the open window. I'm lying here alone, cold and gray. Yeah. So take another breath and come up for your oxygen. Hey, you know you wanna kiss the flesh and blood of every man, every man. Well, we all took turns and swallow the world. I never realized they stuck with us, man. And she said, I want more. Give me more disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Disgusting stuff. Oh, you're making me stop. Disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Give me more disgusting stuff. Yeah, a little bit of disgusting stuff.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optilum filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
on my telescope now. What's wrong with this thing?
The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell? You want things right, do I make you do things wrong? If I want to stand my line, I will always take the fall. If I just do left, I can hear from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm breathing through the night. Oh, I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. We're gonna get real. Oh, I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh,
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we just talk. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm in the middle of imaging here, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why my telescope is dark. The only thing I could think about is my flat panel is still closed, but we will see. Let's see. It says it's open. I don't know. How's it going, everybody? We'll figure that out later. Let me have pause on my thing so I can pay attention to what we're doing here.
Yes,
And
please.
I am going to stop my sequencer right now until Eric does his thing, and then I'll run outside. But how's it going, everybody? We are here tonight. We got some good news on the AstroWorld telescope front tonight. We'll talk about that. We got to talk about Cherry Springs is in 2 weeks. So Cherry Springs Star Party is in 2 weeks. So we got to talk about that, and I got to have time for dinner too, because my lovely wife just made me some dinner. So just thank you, baby. So got some chicken and salad and some potato salad. There you go, nice. But
nice.
Let's talk a little bit about sponsors, and then we'll talk a little bit about the news, and then we'll do some stuff. We'll talk about Cherry Springs and what Pete's been up to for the past 2 weeks. We'll talk about that too. So here we go. So let's get this going here, and we'll get the ball rolling here. Here we go. So sponsors. So for those of you that are new to the show, we have sponsors and we have giveaways. And if you don't know about the giveaways, please go to astroworldweb.com, and you can go there and you go under, I think it says raffles or giveaways. You go into there, you sign up for all the giveaways. There's 3 of them up there. There's Masters of Pics Insight. What else is up there? There are 2 other things, Woodland Hills and Camera Concepts. So those are the 3 that are still up there. And soon to be, probably by the middle of June, you will see a new giveaway for a $50 gift certificate to astroworldtelescopes.com. So you'll be seeing that very soon as well. So we have giveaways, so we have to say thanks. We have to say thank you for the people that give us the giveaways. So let's talk about that. The first one is Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes. And why did that go so? Wow, that went really fast. Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes. They give us money to give away. So thank you to Farah and the team over there. And we're going to be giving away, I think tonight, it's the last of the month, right? So we got to give away a $50 gift certificate to them tonight. So we're going to do that. Then we have Prima Luce, Camera Concepts, and Optolong. Thank you to them as well. Looking to get more filters from Optolong within the next couple of weeks, so that's going to be cool. Camera Concepts, we give away $50 a month for a gift certificate to them. And Prima Luce Lab, well, they've been just a fan of the show for a long time, and they gave us a nice Eagle 4 Pro. Couldn't get a 5, sorry everybody, but hopefully maybe for 4th of July, maybe we'll get something. I got to give Tom a call and give him a nudge and see if he could give us something. Masters of Pics Insight has been a super fan of the show since day one. Unbelievable. Really supportive. Pete, Warren, and Ron over there. They're just awesome. And if you don't know who they are, go check them out, because they have plenty of tutorials on Pics Insight, and they do live shows, live tutorials once a month. And the next one's, I think, June 16th or 17th, whatever that second Tuesday is. So they do it every month. So definitely go check it out. If you don't win a workshop from us on our wheel, we give out a free workshop every Friday, but it's only $35 if you go there and it's only $35, and you get 2 hours with some of the best in the business. So I mean, you just sit there and you just learn, and they do a little bit at a time. Damn, I didn't change the Off the Rails members again. Gosh darn it! We got another Off the Rails member, and I am going to give me 1 second here. And Patreon.
There we are.
Patreon patrons. Who did it? Pledge.
And
Sean, Bob, and John Gambal. So Sean, Bob, and John are so John Gambal, John G. Upgraded his to the off the rails tier. So thank you, John. I
Thanks, John.
promise you, I will get that fixed. Probably tomorrow is my day off, so I'll be able to do it tomorrow. So thank you to Sean, Bob, and if you don't know, if you want to become a member sponsor and get some pretty cool maybe content or perks or whatever, go to our Patreon site at AstroWorld TV, and you'll be able to join us there. Quasar members, John obviously moved up. Dr. Hassan and Chris, thank you so much. I believe that's, yeah, so it's just the two of them. Now, our Black Hole members, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Red Giant, main sequence, we have a ton. White Dwarf, we have so many. Protostar, and that's it. So thank you so much for everybody. Listen, I know I went through that pretty fast. I want to get to the show, but there's so many now that I can only say thank you so many times because it's just great. So thank you so much, and just remember, all this stuff goes towards the giveaways. All the Patreon stuff goes towards the giveaway. It pays for us to go to NEEF. It pays for us to do the live shows. It pays for it. We don't take any of the money for us. It's all on the show and the giveaways. So thank you
I
so
haven't
much
seen
for
one dime yet.
actually, yeah, I think you did somewhere along the way. If I bought you lunch at NEEF, then you got
There you
something.
go. There you go.
So,
There you
so-
go.
and then of course you can also join us on our other social media platforms: Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. We're on everything, and that is that.
That's
So
that. So
that
you guys
is
know
that.
what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna eat.
You eat. I'm gonna look here, and I've got how many? 15. All right, we got 15 people watching. We got 12. Who are the three? I want to know who the three are. Who are those three that haven't given us a? Okay, I got 13. I got
It's us
13.
three.
I want
It's
to
us
see.
three.
I bet it is. I bet it is. It probably is because everybody knows what I'm gonna do. If you guys like what we've been doing, you can want to continue to support us. The best way to support us is to give us a like on Facebook. Share the show, share the public. Remember what I always say: sharing is caring. I really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up there on YouTube. What we do is for you guys, and all we ask is for you guys just to click that thumbs up or give us a like. Everything else, this is all pretty much free for you guys and stuff like that. So all we ask is just for a little bit of support like that. That's all. So
Yeah, just
Hulk
just a, just a little bit of love, right? A little bit of
smash,
love.
little bit of love, little bit of love. Hulk smash, Hulk bash, whatever you got to do. Just show your love and give us a thumbs up. We would really appreciate that. So look, 16. There we go. Really,
There
really
we go.
appreciate that, guys.
Rock and roll.
There it is. So
All right, so
yeah.
we got some good news. And Pete, I don't know if I told you this because I might have told you. I think we spoke the other day, actually, and I think I told you. But we picked up two more dealerships over the past couple of days. So we picked up iOptron and we picked up Bob's Knobs. So we got Bob's Knobs. So if you need your Bob's Knobs, you can come to us. Then it's not on the website yet. It'll probably be on the website tomorrow. But we got iOptron. So thank you to the guys at iOptron and Roger Rivers for supporting us and allowing us to becoming a reseller for them as well. So that puts us up to about 17 or 18 dealerships now. I've lost count.
It's amazing.
It's
really
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I can only say thank you to all the support of the entire Astro community out there, all the other businesses out there that are allowing us to represent them, and that thank you so much. So it's a lot of fun. Bob has nice knobs. Yes, he does.
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So That's my good news. I mean, you know, so go to AstroWorld Telescopes, check us out, and you can get your Astro gear there.
Yes, yeah, please. It's awesome. I mean, I'm like I said, we've talked about this offline. I'm just happy for you and happy, you getting this opportunity to follow your passion and your dream and do this stuff, man. It's really, really awesome. And to all those out there, you're looking for this type, you're looking for some new gear, Explore Scientific, Player One, whoever, Pegasus, all of them, check them out. Check them out at AstroWorld Web, AstroWorld Web Telescopes, or AstroWorld Telescopes rather.com. And don't forget, today is Friday, and it's the end of the month. So I hope everybody voted, for image of the week.
Yep.
So
Well, they just went up. They just went up today. So go vote now.
yeah.
So
Well, you don't, but we got for this week, don't we?
what happened?
This, oh, that's right. Today is Wednesday. Why am I
Yeah,
thinking
today.
today is Friday? You know why?
That's
Because
because
I've
you
been
worked 50 hours in 2 days.
I worked 50 hours in like 3 days. It's crazy. So my time and sense of time is way off. So yeah, I mean, astroworldweb.com. Go check out the entries for image of the week and start voting.
Yep, start voting now. They're up. So you can do them now. And actually starting right now, you could also vote because we don't have any more images of the month and images for May anymore. I opened up the voting for image of the month for the month of May. So you could actually start voting for that as well right now. So go there and astroworldweb.com/IOTW. And you can go there and get there and vote it up. So thank you. Pete, what you been up to, man? We haven't seen you in weeks. You've been gone.
Well,
You've been
as I
gone
said, Dan,
fishing.
I was gone definitely fishing about 3 weeks ago, but this past Friday, I've been down at Apple Valley Unified School District. There's a STEM educational program that NASA donated a dome to this particular collective. And what they decided to do is they've got an old Bayers mount, a beautiful mount. I mean, this mount is absolutely pristine at Bayers. And so what they did is they actually had a 16-inch Meade, a Tech 10-inch Matt Cassegrain. They had a Takahashi 120. And so they wanted to go ahead and upgrade the Meade. So we got them into a Planewave CDK 17. So this past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I've been down there just doing the install, getting the software up and running. Unfortunately, the gentleman that actually took over from Bayers Mounts, Ken Colby, he had to do some work on the mount. So I ended up coming back here, but I'll be going back down here probably in about another 3 weeks just to kind of finish this up. But I'll get some photographs. As a matter of fact, Eric, I sent you a text message of what the CDK looks like on that Bayers mount on your cell phone. It's beautiful. I mean, the Bayers mount is absolutely just gorgeous. So I'll get some images once we're going to get this thing completed. And from what I understand, this is going to be an article that's going to be in Sky and Telescope magazine, I think either in the October issue. So it should be kind of interesting to see how this thing turns out. So I just been involved in doing this.
That's awesome.
But, that's about it.
See if I can post. I'll see if I can show this. If you're cool with that, there it is.
Absolutely.
And let me just bring this up here.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So I'm just going to share this here on so you guys can take a look at this. This is really, really nice. Let me go screen sharing here. Screen and share. And that's really something. And this is before everything else. I mean, you look at that Moravian right there.
Yep.
I mean,
that was the optical train that we did a couple of weeks ago on a Friday when we had Pavel on. So that's been attached. The two dovetail plates on the right side, that's going to actually house the 10-inch Tech Matt Cass. and then the Takahashi will ride piggyback on top of that. And then on the
Oh my
left
God.
side, we're going to actually put the solar scope in, and it's going to be for visual, but it's going to be a just a little Coronado. I think it's a 90 millimeter solar scope.
Okay. Is that going on
But,
top of the plane, the CDK right here? Is that going to go on top of the
No,
CDK or?
no, nothing's going to go. The only thing going on top of the CDK is going to be just the Pegasus. We got a
Okay.
Pegasus. I guess the V2 power box has been discontinued. They're coming out with the Gen 3 version, which is going to have 6 inputs instead of 4 and a couple more USB ports. So
Okay.
unfortunately, we needed to get, because the cabling was just an absolute rat's nest with all the cabling. So the reason I came back, I would have been down there today finishing this thing up, but they just needed to order that Pegasus, and there was no need for me to stick around while they ordered it because Monday was a holiday.
Right. Yeah, this is
But
this
the
is
mount,
just nice.
the mount is absolutely pristine. I mean, it's an absolutely gorgeous mount. I mean, I got to say one thing about Ed Bayers. He really made a phenomenal mount. It really is something. So anyway, Kent Colby is now the new owner of Bayers Mounts, and they're being fabricated up in Barstow. But I mean, this thing's got a payload capacity of 300 pounds, so it's just amazing.
Nice. That's you showed me the CDK, but when you get this all said and done, to also take some photos of that mount too, because the amount of payload that sucker's going to be carrying on it, I want to see that.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at close to about 210 pounds of camera gear, telescopes. God. I mean, it's just going to be something special.
And what was it? What was the capacity of that mount again?
It's 300 pounds.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is. So not this past weekend because I was working all weekend. So, but the previous week I was able to start capturing. I did, some work with Nina. I was able to get some stuff done with Nina. Some I did with the ASI Air. So I've been going back and forth. My guiding, I just haven't gotten the guiding down with PhD 2 just yet. I mean, it's like I fixed one thing. So the autofocuser has been working. So the autofocus has been fine. Now it's this. So but it's going to all work out, I'm sure. And I was able to go out and get M101 and get the supernova. Now I'm just looking forward to putting that all together. And I got to get my flats done. And then once I get the flats done, then I'll go ahead and start processing. And that's one of the cool things of having this set up the way it is right now. I can do all the flats, everything, and for folks who don't know, you don't necessarily always have to take your flats right after your imaging necessarily. You don't necessarily have to do that as long as your imaging train has remained untouched. And what I mean, you haven't taken things apart and removed things and then try to put things back together. As long as it stayed, your telescope, your imaging train, your camera, everything stays the same way it was when you started that session, you should be okay with taking your flats. So it's going to be so I'm going to go ahead and get that done and then start doing some processing and see how things will turn out. But
that's that's the I got the supernova. I think I was showing it the other night. I got the supernova. And unfortunately I got to do everything all over again because I was messing around with my image train, so my flats are worthless. So that means I'm trying to use the Alto and the Giotto, the automated flat panel, right?
Okay.
And I'm messing around with my sequence a little bit, and so now I'm adding the sequencer. I'm adding the open flat panel and do the flats at the end. So I could technically get fresh flats every night I image.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. everybody's hopping on, seeing Ernie here, Dave's on, Tarek's on, you know, Kevin's on. So really appreciate everybody's hopping on here and checking things out and checking in with us. So I'm going to see if I can get into my ASI Air and see if I can share what we've currently, you know, what I was able to do.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing. It was all you.
Let's see here. Some of it's I don't like that one. That's the crazy thing. It's just it's frustrating. It's okay. So if I share here and we can take a quick look at what we got going. And, oh, there we are.
Yep, there's a supernova. Yep.
So there it is. I mean, you can't miss the thing.
Nope.
I mean, it's just now, like I said, I got to work on this guiding because I'm getting, and fortunately, these are all like, most of my shots are like 60-second shots. So it's not too bad. And I think I can fix a lot of this with Blur Exterminator.
Right.
And try to clean a lot of this up. And, you know, so it's the good thing that the data is still useful. But again, I've still got to figure out, you know, with all these elongated, it's got to be something with the tracking. It really does, which basically is the RA. Because deck don't hardly move. Deck don't move. Once it's set, it's pretty much you're locked in. So it's not that. And so yeah, I'm gonna figure it out and make all this happen. There we go. But yeah, that was just one of the shots here that of M101 that I was able to get. So I am happy that I was able to get the supernova. It's just going to be a little bit of cleanup probably.
Yep.
You know, and bringing it out, and then hopefully it'll be something that'll be it'll be respectable. Yeah, Norm, I have to. What's my guide camera exposure time? 2 seconds. No, actually, I think I said it's a 3.
Okay.
I believe I said it's a 3.
That should be
because of that. You know, I wanted to try to correct things, and I didn't want to go too fast because, you know, it's always that, you know, that talk of chasing the seeing and stuff like that. So yeah, I kept it at 3.
Yeah, that should be fine. Anywhere between 2 and 3 is usually good.
Yeah, and I'm averaging, when I was looking at my PhD 2 guiding, I'm still getting over, you know, I'm averaging like 2 arc seconds.
Oy.
So it's kind of frustrating. My RMS is always over 2.
I'm taking my first. Well, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm doing a test of 40 images of M101 right now, and then I'm going to see what happens and make sure that the flat panel closes and does what I expect it to do. If you want to see what it kind of looks like, and again, I was playing around with a couple things, and I was thinking about doing flats after every filter, so the filter doesn't change. You know what I mean? So, but I said, you know what? That's too much. I'm closing the flat panel too many times. It's going to be a lot of garbage in there. It's a lot of wasted time. So, I'll show you what it kind of looks like now. Let's see. Display 2, and then there you go. Let me get Pete back real quick. Pete disappeared.
Yep. Pete disappeared.
And layers and Peter, and where are you?
Yeah, now I'm blocking him. There you go.
There you go. All right. So this is what my sequence looks like now. It went through everything. So the flat panel is going to be closed. So it's got to open the flat panel first, and then it waits because I have it wait because it's going to take a little bit while for the flat panel to get out of the way. So 30 seconds I put in there, and then it can start the autofocus. starts the autofocus. It'll slew in center, and then it'll start the guiding. Now, later on, I have my LRGB set up here. I just have 10 of each. I'm testing stuff tonight. And then when it's done with that, it's going to close the flat panel. And because it takes a little bit of time for the flat panel to close, I have a delay of 45 seconds to close the flat panel. So it's going to close the flat panel, and then it's going to take 10 luminance, 10 green, 10 red, 10 blue flats. And then it's going to do my end of sequence. It's going to stop guiding, warm the camera, move the focuser to 0, and park the scope. And that's it. So I basically just added these. Originally, I added these flat exposures in between every single exposure. I'm like, nah, that's too much. So let's just do it this way, and we'll be good. And doesn't matter if I take because I'm getting flats every night. It doesn't matter if I do something in between, and because I'm going to get new flats anyway. And you don't have to do flat darks every night, right? You don't have to do that every night, as long as you have them already set in Nina, and you already take. I have 1 minute flats, 1 second flats on the luminance, 2 seconds flats on everything else. Okay. Now, so I have 2 flat darks. I have 1 second, 1 2 second, and that's it. So I put that in my dark library, and now all it has to do is take flats. I don't have to take flat darks every day.
That's nice.
So there you go. So it seemed to work good. It seemed to work. I was testing it a little bit last night before I passed out, but I'll do it a little bit tonight, and got a big day tomorrow. So I got to get some stuff going on tomorrow, because I plan on splashing social media with some stuff on AstroWorld telescopes. So we'll see.
Nice.
Let's see. So let's see. Let's just see real quick. There it is. So that's a supernova right there.
With, it's the Edge HD right now, Dennis, that I'm working with, at least for right now. The 8-inch Edge HD.
You want to know something funny? Look at this. So with the almost full moon, right? Look at my histogram. See my histogram on the left?
Wow.
You see that? That's a 45-second shot.
Yeah, that's some serious LP then.
Yeah. Well, it's also almost a full moon, so I expect a little more. But on a 45-second exposure, it's only be a little bit to the left without the moon.
What's your average?
What's that?
What's your average ADU on that shot?
What is it?
14,175.
14,175. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Now my guiding's looking good though. So my guiding's great. So
yeah. Thanks for sharing.
0.35, man. 0.35. Gotta love it.
Thanks for sharing. Is that on the
0.15 on the deck?
Nix?
What?
Yeah, is that on the Nix or the EQ?
No, that's the EQ8. That's the EQ8R right there. So looking pretty good. What you looking at, Pete? You like diagnosing my screen here?
No, just looking at all the data, all the numbers.
Yeah. So there we go. So the supernova is
so
literally right there.
Jerry's saying, look at the stats above the histogram, the max pixels being lost, the X number.
The X number.
Max 205 X.
1205X. Is that what?
Is that what you're referring to, Jerry?
I don't see the because I'm looking at 2 different screens, so I don't see the chat. So I don't. You guys see what is?
Yeah, no, I'm watching the chat. Yeah, he's saying yeah.
So what's he saying?
So he's saying, look at the stats above the histogram. The the max pixels being lost. Your maximum pixels being lost. Ernie, it's my Ioptron SEM 60 is the one that's giving me the trouble, and I'm concerned it could be the it's tracking for sure, because Pete's been helping me out, and as well as Dan, and and you guys as well. So everything, it looks like it's definitely a tracking issue. My declination, I'm having absolutely no problem with the numbers on the deck. It's all RA, and so that's why I'm thinking it could be I mean, because I bought the SEM 60 secondhand from Chris Thompson, and I don't recall how long Chris had it, but I've had it now. Going on 3 years maybe that I've had it, so it could be for however long he's had it, and then me. That it's just time, that it could be just time for us to do a little bit of tuning on this guy.
Yeah, so that's an interesting stat. I did not know that. If that's what that number means on the max, it says 1100x or 1000x. It means 1,000 are being blown out. I don't know I don't know if that's what it is.
Okay, and then
Maybe.
and on the minimum, the X number would be pixels being lost on the dark side. Hey, you learned something new.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at it now, and it was, well, now it's doing an autofocus, but it was like 1 on the minimum and like 1100 on the maximum. So
yeah.
I
Hey,
mean,
David, be honest with you, nothing against the AM5. The AM5 is solid in my opinion, but I'm leaning more towards the if I'm gonna do something, I'm probably leaning more towards the Knicks, to be honest with you. And from what I've seen when I was at NIAC and NEAF, the new Knicks version 2 is going to have the integrated I believe the integrated advanced pocket power box
well, it's going to have an integrated,
on the saddle.
it's kind of like a
It's
power
integrated.
box. Yeah, so it's on the saddle.
Yes. So I'm kind of leaning towards that whenever, I get the opportunity to make the switch. I'm probably going to lean that way. I mean, I've also, and I think Pete, you and I were talking about this a little bit as well when I was looking at Avalon, and I when I was hanging out with Tom and Filippo and everybody at Prima Luce Lab, and they were showing the Avalons. I think the Avalons, they're not bad. I mean, they seem to have very good. I mean, they're gear driven, so there's no. I mean, they're belt driven, so there's very little backlash with them. They're pretty solid. I mean, I believe a lot of their parts, for the most part, are all metal, like either aluminum or steel. I'm not 100%. And Simon Thompson, Eric, I have the SEM 60 with the encoder, SEM 60 EC. Have you checked the backlash? There are 2 holes on deck and RA, Allen keys, 1 locks, adjustment screw, larger Allen key, adjust the back. Honestly, I don't know, Simon, if the 60 has that. I don't know. I mean, if anybody has a 60 or knows or can do a quick look up and can confirm, let me know. But yeah, no, I have no idea. So one thing that I know, Pete, that you were talking about, you were pro Pegasus, the Knicks and everything, because I mean I love it. The one thing that I think either you mentioned or I've been hearing quite a bit, of course, with these harmonic drives, these strain wave drives they have much higher periodic error
Yes.
than average. And really, and can you explain to me why that is? I mean, you have this newer technology, you know, you can handle, I mean, they're lighter, you can handle all this weight and everything like that. And I wouldn't say it's newer technology, strain wave and harmonics been around forever, but within a mount. Why is it that you see maybe this higher periodic error with these harmonic drives versus, you know, other types of mounts? Do you guys have any thoughts? Because I'm kind of curious about the reason why.
Well, I do know for a fact with the wave strain, it oscillates. It's not like there's a worm and then there's a gear where you got that same configuration, that same rotation. With the wave strain, it kind of oscillates over an area, and when it starts to oscillate, you're going to have those extreme peaks and those extreme valleys. Well, the one thing that's interesting is that they guide out those periodic errors, which is real nice. So that's the beauty about it. But the thing that's so nice about the harmonic drives is that if you look at the number of teeth that are engaged in a worm and a gear, as compared to how many teeth are engaged in the harmonic drive, you're going to have 30% of that particular gear on the harmonic drive engaged in the tooth as it's starting to oscillate. So consequently, you're going to get better torque, and that's the advantage that the wave strain actually has. But with everything, you got to give up something to get something else. So you got to give up your periodic error due to the oscillation of the gear within that harmonic drive. But as I said, it's not an issue if you go ahead and you just guide it out.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you remember the video that Scott showed of the harmonic drive and how the gear does kind of oscillate around and it's also part of it is like a flexible metal, you know, in there. It's kind of flexible, and yeah, that's kind of like it. There's a better one. There's a better one. That's part of the video. But there's a better visual on that video on how it works.
Okay.
But let's see if I can find it. Strain. It's called strain wave. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Here it is. I got it.
Okay.
And let's see. So I'll quick play this. All right. So let's skip this and let's see if there is. It's after they put it together. And then when they go in the front, there's that oscillation that Pete was talking about.
Yeah, there's that oscillation.
And
yeah,
if you look at the way these teeth are engaged, as Pete was talking about, and I believe that's the flexible part of the gearing system. And when you put it all together, see how it's kind of snakes across a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Look at all the teeth that are engaged at once. And because all those teeth are engaged like that, that goes to the payload capacity and the torque that you're able to get, just like Pete said.
Gotcha.
So even though you have that high peak to peak and periodic error, and that's been a lot of sticking, and it sticks in people's heads. Like, oh man, it's big periodic error. I'm never going to have 10-minute photos. No, you will, because it's super easy. If you're guiding, look at that thing is moving like crazy. But you know, that's why you could sit there and get that payload capacity. So you give up that, but you could guide it out. It's not big. I've been using, I use the AM5, I use the HM27, I've used the RST300, I've used the Pegasus. So, I mean, I've gone through 4 or 5 harmonic mounts, and I've yet to have an issue on any of them as far as guiding.
Nice. And that's, you know, and that's been, you know, one of the things is that, yeah, UK. So you're going into your point, Pete, you're going to have to give up, one for the other, give up one thing over the other. And honestly, I'm going to be guiding anyway. So who cares about, for me, unguided. I mean, maybe Richard Wright may not want to hear that, but for me, if I want to do a 10-minute exposure or even longer, especially on maybe some faint, really faint nebulosity. Okay, fine. guide to the sucker, guide to its heart's content, and let me get maybe even, that 10-minute, even heck, 15-minute exposure to really start grabbing more and more data per exposure. Fine,
Hey, let me show you something really quick in the difference of what's going on. Now, I switched to the blue filter now. All right. And let's take a look at the histogram again. Look at how when you take only 1/3 of the light now that's coming through. Remember the luminance. The luminance mean was over 14,000, right?
Yeah.
Now, blue filter, it's only
100. Yeah.
So, remember I talk about this on the show a lot, where you get that inherent kind of benefit with a mono camera in highly light polluted skies. That just goes to show that is true, and this is with almost full moon too. I mean, should I be doing M101 under an almost full moon? No, probably not. But but the whole thing, I'm testing new equipment, so this is the time to do it.
Right.
And we'll see what happens. So I'm guiding on the EQ8R right now at 0.28, just went up to 0.28. So
yeah,
0.29 now.
0.28. Yeah.
So
and
I'm
Pete,
smoking.
you were about to say, when we were talking about guiding here, guiding versus this unguiding whole thing, and me doing like maybe a 15-minute exposure. You were going to say something. What were you going to say?
Was this when you're talking about doing what you're going through, Eric, with the Pen Pro? I can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's been working so hard, man. We got to work slow.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No, one thing is, and I don't know if I maybe I can bring up Pen Pro, and if I can, I'm gonna wake up my stuff.
Yeah,
there we go. Come on, wake up.
When we were talking about like portability and then remote observatories, for portability, you really can't beat these harmonic drive mounts. Bar none, they really are lightweight, very high load payload capacity. If you guide, and then if you got like a remote observatory, at that point, you probably want to put in a high precision mount, because you're going to probably have something larger than just a typical 3-inch or 4-inch refractor. So, they've really made the capability of portability just so accessible now with these little harmonic drive mounts.
Yeah, Dave, you know what? I've changed it because you guys are yelling about me about the purple. So I changed it to the green. The only reason why I changed it to the green was because I can't get the same shade of purple back. I don't know where it went, and I don't know where it is. And I had it and I liked it. And now I can't get it back. So thank you for screwing up my Nina. Thank you. You got that up, Eric? Or
yeah. So real quick, I mean, I'm going to be using old data, so
that's okay.
But let me share what I've got here. Oh, I got a minimum here, and let's go share this, and let me go here. All right, so I'm going to load my my red curve that I had. This is what I was doing this on the 21st. And one of the questions is always also about refinement. and then you have my curve 2, which was the blue curve. Because one thing, and Pete, maybe you can talk to this as well when it comes to PemPro, is that you have to do almost like a before and after, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do one with it without the periodic error, without periodic error, without PEC running, and your guiding, and then the other one with PemPro, I guess it's basically recording, and then you do a playback, it uploads, and then you kind of merge the two, if I'm understanding correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just looking at the curve here, Eric.
Sure.
Peak to peak.
And I can expand this to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Peak to peak on the red is 2.68 arc seconds. Peak to peak on the blue was 7.59 arc seconds. So that's going to be almost like 3.3 arc seconds. And that's the first one. The first one, the red, is that 9.
Yeah, 9.87. Yep.
Wow. I mean, that's almost like 5 arc seconds peak to peak. So you got 5 arc seconds above baseline and 5 arc seconds below.
Yeah.
Eric,
and
I would seriously pull up the specs on the mount you got and take a look at what they're recommending as to what the peak to peak tracking is on that mount.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I know for a fact is that like with Lost Mandy gets shipped at about 7 arc seconds peak to peak. And if you run PemPro, you'll probably get that down to about maybe 2.3, 2.5. And that's usually about the best you can do with the Lost Mandy mount. But if you go with the higher precision mounts, case in point, like AP, they run PemPro on all their mounts before they ship. And then they recommend that you do that on once a year. So it's interesting is you'll see the big difference with the higher precision mounts. Case in point with the software BISC mounts, they ship at 7 arc seconds peak to peak, but when you run their software with the SkyX, you'll be able to get that down to below 1 arc second peak to peak. But I got a feeling you're going to be limited because of the fact that you've probably got just a mid-range mount, which, you're going to try to push the limits that you can on it. But unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. It's just a very, very mid-range mount.
Okay. Now, and just so I can confirm this, and maybe for folks who've never seen PemPro and haven't used PemPro, when you first set this up and you're first doing your initial data acquisition, that's going to create your first curve, which is the red curve, correct? And then once it does this, that is basically that's basically without PhD. This is not with any type of guiding or anything like that, if I'm not mistaken. You're not running any guiding, but you're doing your initial without, and then the second, then you acquire, then you do it again with PEC turned on, because I guess you would do an analysis. It would create the new curve, and then you would program that into the mount. You'd have to, like with my mount, I know with AP, if I'm not mistaken, and some other higher end mounts, you don't have to actually walk back out to the mount to turn on recording. But in my case, I had to. You had to turn on recording, then run periodic error with PemPro, and let it let it acquire again, and then it would then take a look at both of those curves, and then you can do a refinement between both curves and make a new, what they call the green curve. And
the right thought there. Yep.
Yeah, and then you would get a green curve, and that was kind of, and this is what that doesn't seem right, but okay. And then the green curve, you have it, and then you can do I guess some refinement here and there. But yeah, to your point, if I go back here, maybe if I auto create green curve, I don't know. Like I said, I still got to learn a lot of it.
Yeah, the green curve
You're saying?
definitely follows your blue curve. Very, very,
Yeah.
very close in terms of looking at the sine waves. I mean, it's very, very, very similar right there, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So
is. It's quite similar.
Yep. Very, very. So, the key is, as I said, that's the disadvantage that you have when you buy the, what's the term I should use, is that you got your high precision mounts, and then what would we call the next level? And then you got the,
I would say mid-grade. They're not
Mid-grade.
entry level,
Mid-grade, yeah.
but maybe more mid-grade, the next level up, perhaps.
Yep, mid-grade. That's a good term, mid-grade, because you can definitely see that with the mid-grade, you definitely get what you're paying for. Is that, once again, a lot of it has to do with the machining process. Did they actually do any of the deburring? Did they actually do any of the post cleaning up of those gears? And then also think about it too. I mean, have you done any maintenance on this mount over the last 2 years? I mean, once again, you should definitely go ahead, clean out the worm, clean out the gear, get rid of all the junk that's in there, because a lot of the times you'll start to collect a lot of stuff within the teeth of the gear. So once again, you should go ahead, get some Teflon, and just get a toothbrush and clean out the worm. And you'd be amazed to see the improvement that you get with that as well. I mean, that's the thing we did with that Bears mount. We opened up that Bears mount, and it hadn't been cleaned in over 10 years. Oh my God, you should have seen all the lube had just collected all the grit and the dust, and it was just causing all kinds of periodic errors. So we literally just put Teflon on it, got a toothbrush, and started cleaning it all up to make some marked improvement. So you're right, you got to definitely do maintenance on these mounts, especially if it's a worm and a gear.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe that's one thing I should do, because I'll be honest with you, since I've had the mount, because I've been kind of nervous actually opening and taking the mount apart and anything like that. And sometimes that's one of the things that some people may, be nervous about. They may not be super mechanically inclined. I mean, I'm not bad. I mean, I can put together PCs, build PCs. I can change my own oil and all that other stuff. But, when it comes to something like this, I've never done it before. So, yeah, maybe I am a bit nervous about it.
Don't be nervous. I mean, all it is basically you got a tension, you got the worm, and you got the gear, and you just got to make sure that you just take a picture of it before you start to disassemble it, so you know the way that goes back in, and then just pay attention to the tensioning. But other than that, yeah, I mean, like with the Mighty mount behind me, I can just take off the cover, and all I really have to do is just get a toothbrush and get in there and just kind of clean it, and just give it a nice little coating of Teflon, and we're back to normal again. But don't be scared. It's not that, believe me, it's not science. It's not nuclear science or anything. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, well, you see, I'm the guy that like was messing around with computers back in the 80s, and I would take apart like floppy drive, disk drives, and I've been taking all these things apart. And see, the thing with the mounts of today compared to the, I guess, computer equipment of 20, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, I always had a handful when I was done of extra parts that this disk drive did not need anymore and still worked without them. The problem with the mount of today, if you miss a screw, you're probably going to screw this thing up.
And seriously, this is the advantage of cell phones. What I always do is when I take something apart, I'll take several photographs of it ahead of time. I'll zoom in, take some pictures, take 2 or 3 pictures. And then what I'll do is I'll end up taking the parts, the items apart, and then I'll put them in individual baggies, and I'll label them so I know exactly where they have to go back in once you go back. Because if you don't do any of that stuff, believe me, putting it back together is going to be a nightmare. Taking apart's not an issue. It's putting it back together that's the problem.
It's always been easier to destroy than to create.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. That is for sure. That is for sure.
Anybody can take
So-
anything apart.
Yeah.
Um,
Trust me.
so yeah. Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say is just, it's not rocket science to do these mounts. Once again, it's just mechanical. And I mean, if you've got a mechanical aptitude and, you can literally open up a can opener and you can open up a can of olives, you'll have no problem with these mounts. It's just the key is look at the tensioning. That's the key is you want to make sure that you get the right tensioning because you don't want it too tight. You don't want it too loose. You got to have the gear and the mesh just right. So just pay attention. What I usually do is I'll maybe mark, like get a magic marker and I'll just kind of mark where that screw needs to be facing me when I tighten it back up again. So I know that that's exactly the spot that it has to be. So there's a bunch of little things like you can use.
Good deal.
Nice. Basically, a lot of people just talking about different things, different color Sharpies that they use to identify different parts and stuff like that. So, hey, whatever works,
Worst case, the worst case is you can end up with a new mount.
I don't need a new mount. I have 3 mounts right now. I have the 8, the 6, and the Pegasus.
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to take that Pegasus on the cruise. I can't wait to do that. Did I tell you what I was doing?
No.
So my wife and
I know
I
you
booked,
said you were going on the cruise. I know you said you guys were going on the cruise and they got this whole astronomy thing.
yeah. So there's we're going on an 8-night cruise, right? And it's only going to, babe, where are we going? Bermuda or Bahamas? Bahamas. We're going to Bahamas. So we're going to Bahamas and we basically sit there for like 3 days at the Bahamas. So we could go back and forth with the shuttles and whatever. So so there's one excursion there called beachside stargazing. So I don't know what to expect. The only thing I can expect is these crappy telescopes and these crappy eyepieces, and that's the thing. You're gonna go there with like a 60 millimeter, refractor, plastic tube. So I'm gonna go there with the Ascar 400 and the Pegasus mount, which I could just carry them both on board. You did nothing to them. Carry them both on board with the ASIR Mini. And take some images from the beach in the Bermuda. Well, Bahamas. Sorry, Bahamas.
Yeah, there you go.
Why not? See what happens.
Why not? Why not? Heck, you'd be low enough, getting closer, the closer you get to the equator, I mean, you'd be able to probably grab some upper end Southern Hemisphere stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm going to have to look and see what's up at that time in I forget what month we're going. I think we're going November, so it's gonna be really late. So maybe I could get the dragons. I don't know. Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll make it for sure. Yeah, that's gonna be that'll be a quickie too, because I can't imagine the Bortle being that bad from the Bahamas on the beach. I can't. It's definitely not as bad as where I am now. I mean, even if it's a 4 or 5, I'll be happy with it. I'll take my little what is it? The little actually I will need it because I don't have the Eagle. I can take my little sky quality meter that I have because I got that back from Tyler just recently. So we got it back from a leaf.
Yeah, you should definitely take a look at what is it? Dark Sky Map. This should give you a relatively current idea of what your what the Bortle is in that area, maybe a roundabout idea.
Right.
So you can give you an idea of what you possibly could expect.
Actually, you know what, Dan? Pull out the Charles Bracken book. It'll tell you.
It'll tell me what?
It'll tell you exactly in the Southern Hemisphere what's going to be actually up in November.
Oh,
that is true. Yeah,
which book?
The planner. Or is it the Atlas?
tell you.
It's got to be the Atlas. The planner is for 30 through 50, I think.
So maybe it's Sky Atlas then.
Sky Atlas. Here we go.
Okay, so it's Sky Atlas.
Bahamas.
There you go.
Latitude.
Mid-southern declinations, autumn.
Latitude of the Bahamas is 24. So
you're going to be looking at page 54 on the book.
I'm sitting here. It's over there. So
Okay. And what do we got there, Pete?
Oh, you got all kinds of stuff, Dan. You'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be interesting. You got like toucan. You got the
do we?
Gurus.
Really?
Yeah, you'll be
I
fine.
get toucan or whatever it's called.
Yeah, right here you got the Tucana. Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, that's the book right here, and they'll tell you on page 58.
Because I'll be using the ASCAR FRA 400 with the 2600 MC. So. Yeah. Cool. I'm psyched. Awesome. I don't know how much time I'll have, so I could probably only do like one image. So.
Yeah, because right now, it's our summer and it's their winter. So Scorpius is up right now, and the Fighting Dragons of R are just below Scorpius.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you're going to be going down there in their spring. So you're going to be looking at spring constellations.
Okay.
It'll be our fall, but it'll be their spring.
Yeah. Sorry, Norm. Yeah, I said I'll look at it later. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm excited. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the cruise because we haven't had a vacation since before COVID. But it turns
Just
out there's a what's that?
Just don't get sick.
Shut your mouth. Shut up. Yeah, watch. This is what's gonna happen. Pete's gonna come to Jersey. It's gonna be like October. Pete's gonna come to New Jersey. He's gonna get me sick and ruin my vacation. I saw you drinking wine. I had to get some.
Yeah. That's what I like about Wednesdays. Wednesday's just an informal day, formal night.
Yeah, we gotta start booking more guests. We gotta start doing that. We gotta get back on that.
Yeah.
Got to get back on the guests.
Christian wants to come on July.
Yeah, when he's ready.
Yep. Yeah, he said in July would be perfect. He's going to talk about his workflow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about Dr. Sass's workflow with AstroPixel processor. That would
he uses Pics Insight, or was that? No, that was No, he uses APP. Yeah, what was it? What's his name?
He only uses Pics Insight for oh God, what's that program that
Blink?
you just mentioned it for
Blink?
Exterminator?
What?
Blur Exterminator.
Other than that, everything else gets done in APP and then in Photoshop. He only uses Pics Insight for Blur Exterminator.
Okay.
But yeah, Dan, we got to just send him an email. He definitely will come on in July. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he said he wanted to come on again.
Did I tell you that? I my astronomy meeting last month, right? From my local club. We have meetings every month, and we usually have guests. And I didn't know this. I guess I didn't pay attention, but I go in there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and our guest is on the screen." So I look at the screen. Guess who it is? It's freaking Charlie Bracken. So I go all the way up to the begin, right in front of the camera. I go right. I'm like, "Hi, Charlie." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, Dad, what's going on?" He's a great guy, man. He's so much fun. He's a really fun guy to hang out with and talk with. He really is.
God, can you imagine? He ran out of books at NEAF and he had to drive 3 hours back, 3 hours back, 6 hours. That's
hours.
unbelievable.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Sometimes that's not a bad situation to have, though. You know, it
Yeah.
does stink. You gotta, you have to drive round trip 6 hours, but that's not a bad thing, to run out of, merchandise and you're more in demand,
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I mean,
But I'm sure next time, Charlie and Max, they'll, probably bring a heck of a lot more than what they did this
oh
year.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Max will make it the next time, but I know Charlie will. Max
Yeah.
took a long trip from Love Island all the way over
Oh, wow.
here. So I mean, I hope he makes it because he was a lot of fun too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, Dave, I know Dan was talking about this a while back about maybe trying to see about Chad coming on, but I'm not sure.
tough to get
It's
a
been
hold of.
difficult.
Tough to get a hold
Yeah,
of. Um,
yeah,
I mean, I'll you know me, I will try again. Um, I was able to finally get Stacy, Astro Stacy on after 2 years of nagging. So
yeah.
the only person that I got, I'll nag on him again, and I'll nag on Brian May too. So I'll nag on him again.
Yeah. I mean, I was just speaking of Stacy. I mean, I was just watching some of because we friended each other on Facebook
Yep.
and everything, and she's getting married soon,
Oh yeah, she's been
and
busting up the
she's
airways.
been yeah, she looks great. I mean,
Looks
she
awesome.
and her partner they look great. I mean, and they're gonna look gorgeous,
Yeah, they,
in their when
they
they
look
get
so
married.
cute when they were doing their makeup and the tastings and everything.
Yeah,
It was so cute. I was like, I texted her back. I said, "You guys look awesome." I said, I'm
yeah.
sending her. I got their shirt sizes, so I'm sending them a couple of AstroWorld shirts and stickers because
Nice.
she said she wanted stickers to put on her scope. So
Right on. Try Steve Miller too. He can go over his colorized SHO process.
yep,
There's
Steve
another
Miller would be
option.
good to have on too. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And Gary Palmer is going to come on. I spoke to him at NEAC, so he's going to be on.
Okay. Yeah, another person. I know we probably won't get him on, but I was just recently watching Luke.
Look him at no, he's
Yeah.
he's a friend of mine on Twitter. And we talk. But he probably is. It's not that he's not interested. It's just he's got too much other stuff going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, but
And
it
I
was
get
kind of
that. So
Hey Dan, send Jeff Dickerman an email because I know he'll want to be on too, and he said he'd be interested. So we should definitely get Jeff on as well.
oh yeah, Jeff will definitely come on again, I'm sure.
But speaking of Luke, I recently I just watched one of his recent videos, and it was for the newer high speed filters that are used like with Hyperstar and Rasa.
Yep.
And he had just received, I would say it was the L Extreme high speed, and he was comparing that with the NBZ ultra high speed and the Antlia 4 point, not the 4.5. I think it's a 5 nanometer.
Yeah, they have 5.
Yeah, the ALP-T, the ALPT.
Yeah, the ALP. Yep.
And I was quite, even surprised, and he was comparing them all. And one of the big things, of course, is halos that we try to fight and deal with even at high speed. And I've been using the NBZ like for, forever. I'm not using the high speed one, but, just having that and then comparing it. And I believe Optolong's new L Extreme high speed is just about to hit the market. It hasn't hit the market yet. And he also
Nope.
had the Atlanta Alp. I was really surprised about when I was looking at the haloing, that both, unfortunately, the Optolong and the NBZ were having, compared to the Antlia Alp. And it was just really, really surprising me how the Alp was just, it seemed like it was just blowing them away as far as not having halos.
Yeah.
And it was just something.
Well, you know what, and that has something to be said about the coding.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
The coding technologies have gotten better, and they're able to do it a little bit better. And I remember when the Enlia original, 3 nanometer filters came out that was still haloing, and then they came out with the next generation, then it was gone. So I mean, so same thing with Optolong. It was out and it had haloing, and now it's gone. So I mean, it's things are getting better and easier and faster, and if you want the UHS or the regular MBZ, you can contact me. I got them right upstairs. So
there you go. But one cool thing is that I think Optolong will most likely, because even Sean has tested Optolong's 3 nanometer before they were released, and gave some really good feedback. And I'm sure Optolong is going to take Luke's feedback as well, and they're going to adjust their coatings and everything before they actually release everything to the public. And they'll be, I'm sure, just as as good as their 3 nanometers. They'll get those coatings improved. So it's just really cool to see the things that are coming out, the competition, the options that we have when it comes to these different to these newer filters, to even address high speed systems like the Rasa back here. It's just really, really good, because we've always been, I mean, when I first got started with trying to do narrowband with the Rasa, I actually had to go to 12 nanometer. That's the fastest I think I could have gotten, to avoid and not have any type of band shifting or anything like that. And now, then slowly just started progressing, down to 7 nanometer, and now they're down to 4 nanometer. For these filters now. And
I really want to try those whatchamacallit filters, the Altair Astro filters. Give them a shot and see how they're doing.
Which ones?
The 4 nanometer filters. They have 4s.
Okay.
I want to give them a shot and see how they are. I mean, for an entry level kind of filter, it might be decent. Well, you never know.
Okay. Yeah, the Alp is actually, it's 5 nanometers, which is still good. I mean, it's still really good for that speed, which is probably, I mean, I remember Beta was like the only ultra high speed at the time. That really, that was really being advertised, for ultra high speed. But look at them now. I mean, they're
all coming out.
They're all coming out. So, which just says good things for technology, and, the improvements in optical coatings and things like that. So,
yeah, I have all Optolong 3 nanometers. So I mean, I love them. They're great.
Yeah, I'm still. Hey, I've got the Antlias that I bought off you, so I'm still running with those, and they've been doing fine for me. So I'm not complaining about them.
Hey Dan, check your email.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep. That might be something we could maybe post on the Discord.
Yeah, I could do it on the Discord and on the website. I could do that. Yeah, Pete's got an article that he wrote regarding halos, um, Astrodon filters below 3.5. So
Okay.
I could throw that up there. So yeah, absolutely. I'll throw it up. I'll give you the byline, Pete. Don't worry.
Yeah. Hey,
That-
yeah,
and
we're gonna
it-
start
it's
making our own. We're making our own filters too. We're making our own version of the Icarus. You can image. You image through daylight. You image through cloudy. Doesn't matter. You'll get some fantastic images off of our stuff. Trust me.
Hey, if somebody comes up with a cloud filter, man, that'll be a winner right there.
Oh, it'll
Yeah.
happen. Watch, it'll
We
happen.
got it. We got them coming. We got them coming right here from AstroWorld.
There
AstroWorld
you go.
Telescope.
I'll,
First.
I'll show it to you right now. Ready? Here's the first AstroWorld filter. Right here. Here you go. Right? There it is. Right
There
there.
it is.
There it
There it
is.
is.
Uh,
There it is. You can get your own AstroWorld solar glasses, 4 for $9.99. There you go. There you go. Am I turning into a selling whore? But
you're starting to sound like Earl Schreiber.
oh no, don't do that. Don't do that to me. No, I can't do that.
Oh, man, that would be
We'll
funny.
sell you 4 glasses for $9.99.
Mhm.
You gotta buy it. You gotta buy it now.
Oh, God.
Before they're all gone. I only have 898 left. So-
Trust me, they'll be gone here, Dan. They'll be gone by January of next year.
oh, I'm telling you, there will be.
Yeah, I've
Ah.
actually decided to start. I've got a few things on cloudy nights that I'm selling. Like a lot of, as you get better at stuff, you should start moving on from things. And I'm selling a bunch of my old filters, and some of them have gone. Some of them is actually sold.
Yeah,
So-
good.
So it's been good. So anybody looking for a good deal on some filters, hey, go check out Cloudy Nights and look.
They're all up there. They're all up there.
Look up Blade 71.
Telling you,
I
but
need
you
to
know,
ask Dan about the positive depth and those precise parts. I may have to
Oh.
just check out what Dan might have.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
you know what I'll do. You pay for the shipping, and I'll ship them all to you. You can measure them out, and you got nothing to do. You're semi-retired. You don't need. I'll send them all to you, and you can categorize them all.
That's it.
Hey, Senthil, what's going on, man? Good meeting him and Navin at NEEF.
Yeah, Naveen.
Yeah, I do it with the New York accent. It's Navin.
Hey, did we ever get the video? Eric, did you ever get the video of you and Jesse? Did you guys ever kind of do the post
Killing me, Pete.
process?
I swear I'll put it on the Google Drive tomorrow. I swear I'll do it.
Oh, is it already been edited?
No, I haven't touched it. I've been going crazy.
You haven't touched
Oh,
it.
I know. That's
It's
what I was
just
going to say.
It's just been
Oh.
sitting there with Dan.
So my fault. I promise you, I'll throw it up on there so you guys can grab it tomorrow. So
Syntho moves to Texas, all set for the eclipse. Awesome.
nice.
Awesome, man.
Now you gotta buy that that Nix you were looking at. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, either that or hey, if you're gonna go for the eclipse, maybe think about a quark.
Yeah.
AstroWorld telescopes. We're
Daystar. We got Daystar now.
Daystar. So
We got Daystar, and you know what? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And for those of you that know us and would like be really nice, to write testimonials about what we do on the show and everything on the website, that'd be pretty cool too. So if you guys could write some question por favor. Some DSL, actually most DSLR cameras have a shutter count. Do Astro cams have one?
No.
Because you know what? It's a rolling shutter. So it's not a physical shutter. So now if you had like an older S big that had, or even some of the what were some of the QSI cameras, and some of the higher end, the Moravian cameras that have the manual shutter. I don't know. Maybe you could hit that question, Pete, regarding Moravian. I don't know if it has a shutter count on there, but for those regular CMOS cameras, I can't see why you would have one.
Because
Yeah, I do know for a fact Raven doesn't have a shutter count. Yeah, mechanical shutters don't have a shutter count that are dedicated.
Yeah. And now aren't more and more of them going? Are they going more to the global shutter? Am I thinking?
Well, it seems
Versus
to
the
be
global or rolling, depending on how much you want to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like the mechanical shutters because it allows you to go ahead and do your dark libraries without having to attach it to the telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I loved my S Big camera.
Yep.
My S Big, my STF 8300.
Yeah.
I just did darks. That didn't matter if I, it just did them because it's got that physical shutter in front and blocks everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember their little guide camera. Remember the guide camera, their ST-I little guide
STI.
camera? That was
STI and the
that was the
STIC.
one that had the mechanical shutter for your dark frames.
Yep.
It's kind of nice.
That was pretty cool. Had that the little shutter was like no bigger than a pinhead.
Yeah, that's I kind of like how when I got my cameras, especially the dedicated Astro guide, I would just before I even got started, and put it onto a scope or anything like that, I would hook that sucker up and start taking my darks.
Yep.
Just hook it up, start taking darks, not putting it on anything. It would be, it's kind of nice to just get it done and out of the way.
Yeah, Jerry, I haven't even seen an exposure count on that because you got to remember the exposure count needs to be held in the camera, if you think about it, in order for it to be there. You know what I mean? I have never heard of, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, but I've never heard of an exposure count on a CMOS Astro camera. I've never heard of it. Now, I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong before, but on DSLRs, you go in there, you can go to shuttercount.com, I think it's called, and you could load up your DSLR and it'll tell you what the shutter count is. You take a picture, you upload the picture, and it tells you it's in the fit header of that picture. But unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to kind of know. It'd be a nice thing to know, to be honest with you, especially if you're buying secondhand. And you sit there and okay, well, if I got 6,000 hours on this 2600, well, why am I going to spend that much money on a camera that's gone through so much time? Because with time and sensors, what happens? Well, what happens? You get more dead pixels, you get dead column. Well, not so much in CMOS cameras, but you get a lot more dying pixels as times go on. And are they able to be taken out with dark frames? Yeah. Can you make a bad pixel map? Yeah, you could do that. But if you're spending $1,500 on a camera that's gone around the block a couple times, maybe something be interesting that people might want to know. So,
yeah. It's kind of like an odometer on a car, right? They should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Maybe do it as a firmware.
Yeah. Or just like anything else, there's a little count, a rolling count in the camera firmware that just saves it in there, saying, okay, you know what? And not even that. I don't even know if I would want how many pictures it's taken. I would want to know how time in use.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Because pictures taken, when we're taking 10, 15-minute pictures, you could say 3 pictures and say, oh, it's only taking 3 pictures. Yeah, but it's 45 minutes.
Yep.
So let's, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to do. Yeah, really. Put it in the firmware, put it in the fits header, do something. Do something, damn it. Do something
you know,
original. Do something original. Damn it. Do it. Don't remake the movie. Do something new.
hey,
yeah.
Dan, there's one thing I did notice on AstroWorldTelescope.com that you might want to I don't know if you want to, how you may want to put it under accessories or give it its own spot. Maybe under accessories, give it its own sub.
What's that?
Focusers.
Focusers does have their own spot.
Does it? I don't see it here.
Hold on a second. It might be under.
It's not under astrophotography, and it's not under accessories.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Heads will roll. Heads will
Oh,
roll.
I'm gonna F somebody up now. Hold on. I thought there was. Oh, let me go. You're gonna make me go there now. Telescopes, mounts, cameras, filters, accessories. Holy crap! There's no focuses. But if you go into, if you start type focuser, they come up. There's just no menu. Oh God. Okay, I'll have to fix that. I'll fix that tomorrow. Whoops.
Manana. Everything is manana.
Everything's manana.
You don't need no stinking focuser. Use your eye. Move your eye back and forth like this. Yikes. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Big problem. Big one. All right. Well, we'll get that taken care of.
So about scopes, cameras and scopes, which options would you prefer? The new APS plus, the new APS-C plus a doublet ED, or an old one-shot color, say a 294 color with a triplet quad? Quiz for today.
This is your quiz for today. Hey, you know what, Tarek? We actually saw your question. So there you go. Because Tarek's questions sometimes go so fast. And then like 20 minutes later, he'll be like, can you answer my question, please? So what is it? It's a APS-C doublet or
a doublet,
an OSC and a triplet or quad. So I know what I would say. What would you say, Eric?
It would depend. It really depends on the doublet, because I've had my doublet, and we're gonna go right back to my old William Optics doublet, and it was killer. It was awesome. I didn't have any type of aberration with that son of a gun. But yeah, with a quad though, if you have a quad, you don't need, say, a flattener, things like that. I mean, you have a flat field. It's just, I probably would go with the newer, but then again, I'm kind of torn, because you can calibrate out flats. If your flats can calibrate out everything like amp glow and stuff like that, so old school. So I would probably go with the old 294 in a quad, because I could calibrate out the amp glow and everything, just like we used to do back in the day. So I mean, but if I was that would be probably me. I would probably just I would go for the optics maybe a bit more than the camera. But I don't know. Maybe that's me.
Well, to me, I would say it doesn't
What's
even
his budget.
Well, budget matters.
Budget absolutely matters.
But if budget didn't matter, I would tell you, coming from the crappiest skies in the United States, I would say that it has to do with your location before you sit there and worry about that. I mean, if it was me, I love the triplet quads. I love the quads not needing a flattener. I think that's a big bonus for me. Now, the 294C could be problematic for me, depending on which 294 you get. I would say do a mixture of the two. Get the APS-C plus the quad. you know,
Basically which is basically the setup of today.
Yeah, pretty much. But Eric's right. Those doublets from William Optics, man, they are spot on. They're spot on. They're well made. The build quality is good. The quality that goes into the optics are good. I mean, really, it's really awesome what they could do with the doublet. And again, the doublets could be just as expensive as triplets. So, you got to be careful. If you get a nice fluorite doublet, like doublet, a fluorite doublet like Eric had, you could spend a pretty penny on it.
Yeah.
You
And to
can.
be honest, I you know what? And for me, I ended up spending more on it, adding to it because I did get the reducer. I got
That's because you sold it once.
Quiet. Because when I had it, I bought a reducer and I also bought an actual field flattener. I bought the and I still have the 6.8, the 6.8 Mark III flattener, but I also bought the reducer. So I had them both, so I could go both ways. I can shrink it down a little bit and go down, down to, I think it was down about 600 or 700 some focal length versus almost 1,000. And yeah, so you would spend a bit more money. I would, and I did spend a bit more money on that stuff. Almost about doggone near almost the same cost as the scope itself, almost. If maybe 50% of what the scope would have been.
So people are asking, why don't we sell William Optics? So we do. We do sell William Optics. I am a dealer. We are dealers at William Optics. It's not on the website yet. Okay, so I'm having some issues getting it on the website. So if you want a William Optics product, contact me directly. And then when I'm not, William Optics has very specific rules on when you can put stuff on the website. So it's nothing against them, it's against me. It's just a matter of time of getting that first big order together. So if you want something, the FLT is coming. Does it have the Watson discount? No, it does not have the Watson discount. When I get a little bit bigger,
what's the Watson discount?
I don't know. It's the discount on your shirt.
Me. Yeah.
That's the discount.
Oh my gosh.
So, if you want an FLT 91, I have one on order. So it is coming. I have 4 Red Cap 51s, 1 FLT 91, 1 Zenith Stars, was it the 71, if I remember right? A couple of flatteners, some Red Cat handles, high and low latitude bases. I got a lot of stuff coming. So, let me know before they go, because it's going to go once I start going on the websites and everything and start doing that social media advertising. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody actually buys from us that's not on. Yeah, I could get I could add a GT on. Just let me know. I could add it on there.
I'm waiting for the Pleiades.
I'm getting a WIFD too. I'm getting a WIFD also.
Yeah, the internal focuser. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Pleiades. I want to really see because I think it's a 110 aperture. Okay. So that would be one I would be really interested to see how it all comes out with. So time will tell. Time will tell.
Well, for those of you that are basketball fans, it looks like Monty Williams and the Pistons They just signed them for 6 years, 78.5. So $80 million. So,
Hey,
so
that's
I'm not a
crazy.
basketball fan. It just came across my ESPN. So
No. The only William Optic scope I have is the Guide Star 60. And it's, the Guide Star, it's a doublet, but it's a great freaking
yeah,
doublet.
really.
It really, really is. I mean, it's like you can do it. Yeah, you can definitely do it for, go guiding with it, but you can actually absolutely do AP with it with no problem. I think it's awesome.
It's
You know?
closing. It's closing the alto cover now. It's closing
Oh,
it.
okay.
So it's
Yeah, and Dave said I love my GT81. The GTs, the Gran Turismos are great. I was
Yep.
just looking at photos of the new GT81 with the internal focuser.
Yep.
No vignetting or anything like that.
I
So
have one of them coming. So they're coming.
that's gonna be pretty darn cool.
Ioptron, I have to place an order with them probably within the next week or so. Teleview, I'm placing an order with them. So I already got my orders from Pegasus, Explore, Prima Luce. So
The Red Cat, great. Yeah, but not much with Galaxy season just yet. I mean, we're almost through. I mean, what you figure? What, maybe another month?
if that,
That maybe it's only a couple more weeks, and
Yep.
then the Milky Way is gonna close everything back up again. The
Yep.
arm's gonna close everything back up again, and then we're back to our nebula and everything inside of our own pretty much inside of our own galaxy for the most part. So yeah, I mean, William Optics fans or users here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of us, I would say.
There's a
For
lot. Yeah.
for the price compared to many other types of scopes that are out there, comparable, with aperture and focal length and everything, they are that are even more expensive. They are right up there. I mean, they are. I'm not saying they are not budget. They do have some very budget friendly scopes, but I mean, if you want to compare them, I guess one thing is a lot of it also has to depend on the pilot, the person using it, right?
Yeah.
Because you can probably, if I took a talk and I took a William Optics, really, could you really honestly tell a difference from the image? Could you really honestly tell the difference from the image? I think it's all about the pilot, the one who's driving, flying the plane, driving the ship, would be what my thought would be as far as comparing these guys. Sometimes it's just, about who's behind the stick and who's going to do it. Yeah, maybe Pics or Peep. Yeah, it's the processing,
Yep. It is. It is.
It's in the processing.
Definitely is
I mean,
not. It's not easy. It's not an easy trade. It really isn't. And
no.
the plugins and stuff is making it easier. But it's still, you still got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you still gotta know what you're doing. But what I'm saying is if you're in that, if you have certain, if you're in a certain budget, or you have to want to stay within a certain budget, or maybe you don't have a budget, maybe money's not the object, but it's just what makes sense. And you're comparing, are you just going to buy something simply for the name, or are you going to take a look at, what, this is just as good, if not very comparable, and I can get just as good of results out of this piece of glass with this, telescope manufacturer versus this one.
Yep.
That's just me. I mean, Pete, you're kind of quiet on that. What do you think? I mean, it's not like mounts. Mounts are totally different. Mounts, you make, that's the heart of everything. So you invest in that. But that scope, for the most part, when you have, say, a William Optics, perhaps, and then you have maybe like a Stellar View or a TOC of comparable focal length and aperture, what would be the deciding factor for you? If you, even if, would it just be the name, or is it just something else?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, refractors will always give you the better color contrast as compared to reflectors. There's no question about it. So if color is important and you want contrast, then definitely refractors are. And I'll be honest with you, if you look at, like, and this is no disrespect whatsoever to Takahashi, you're paying 40% for the name of Takahashi. There's a lot of scope manufacturers out there that are under the radar. Case in point, William Optics. Behind me is Borg. Borg, once again, is a telescope made by a group of Canon engineers that went off and decided to say, hey, we're going to make APO scopes. Telview, another under the radar. I mean, they make the best eyepieces. So they make great quality optics. And I tell you one thing, they are a great, great scope. The 127, the 101, the 85, nothing wrong with it. It's just, unfortunately, with social media, people have kind of given status to certain specific scopes. Plane Wave, Takahashi, Tech, but as I said, you can definitely get some great deals. And as I said, not one scope is ever going to satisfy everything you're going to need. It depends upon what you want to do with it. Are you looking for galaxies? Are you looking for wide field nebula complexes? You're going to probably end up being like Eric, Dan, and myself. You're going to have maybe 2, maybe 3 scopes that you're going to just say, okay, that's my, those are my scopes. But you'll always have, out of those 3, there's always going to be that one that's going to always be your go-to grab-to scope that you're always going to use. So you're absolutely right. It just depends upon what it is that you want to do, and you got to give it some thought. I mean, most people will buy a scope thinking that they're going to start with visual, and then all of a sudden they say, well, I want to see the color. I'm just tired of looking at shades of gray and monochrome. Well, then they'll buy a camera, but they don't understand that now you've got the image circle. You got to get the right image scale with the right camera to match the focal length of that scope. But most people don't know that. So now you're going to get into issues where you're going to be either oversampled, undersampled. You've got to do your due diligence. You have to know exactly what it is that you want to do. Are you getting into doing visual observation, or are you going to get into AP work? If you're going to go into AP work, you're going to definitely spend a lot more money getting into AP work. Now, do you want to go with one-shot color? Do you want to go with monochrome? Well, we know monochrome, you're going to get a filter wheel and you're going to get filters. More expense involved. So you really got to kind of look at what it is that you want to do.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, especially, if you're going to go from one shot to mono, yeah, there are some definite advantages. You have much more sensitivity, with a mono. You don't have to worry about, every pixel on that sensor is going to be that color of that you put over that you put the filter on. It's going to be that color. You won't have to worry about, oh, I'm only getting 25 out of that one pixel. It's only going to be 25% of red, 25% of blue, and 50% green. And guess what? And then by the end of everything, when you're doing your post processing, most of us, with the exception of Dan, because he likes Kermit, you're going to do SCNR. And you're gonna get rid of a lot of that green.
Green right there.
You gotta get rid of the green, so it's,
I like the green. I like some green.
You like the green in your photos, and you like the purple on your Nina.
And in my wine.
But as you said, Eric, I mean, once again, now it comes down to the fact is that, do you have the time? If you only got the time to set up at dusk and tear down at dawn, chances are you're only going to use a one-shot color camera. If you're going to go to Cherry Springs and you got 2 or 3 nights, then by all means, you'll probably end up taking your monochrome camera because you got the time to set up and do your filters, you do your broadband and narrowband. So you're right, you're going to probably end up getting, maybe eventually you're going to get 2 cameras, one shot color and a monochrome with filters and filter wheels. So you're absolutely right. This is a hobby that you'll get into, but boy, I tell you one thing, you just got to kind of do your due diligence and determine what it is that you initially want to start with and then kind of work from there.
Yep.
And it's like, I think Dan and Eric, you've always said, it's having the capability of having options. You know, the ability that you've got a couple of different choices that if one choice doesn't work, you can go to option B, option C. If you're just stuck with option A, oh man, now you're dead in the water. So get a setup, and if you customize it, make sure you got the ability to have options to go with it.
Yeah.
That is true. And apparently something went wrong in my advanced sequencer with the flat panel. So I'm trying to iron that out. If you wonder why I'm quiet, just trying to iron out the advanced sequencer.
Chris. Yeah, I see Chris hopped on. I love my Wave optic scopes, but I can't afford or mount anything with a focal length of my Edge 8 at f7. And yeah, that is very true. If you're talking about a refractor, oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, what is it? Even the FLT 132 is barely. I don't even think it breaks over 1,000 millimeter focal
I don't think
length.
so. Yeah.
I think it's just under. I think it's like around 980.
I mean,
and you look
the
at the
127 from Explorer is 952. I mean,
yeah,
my 130 Astrophysics is 870. So
yeah. And I mean, and then you look at the cost of those refractors because of the glass and because of the glass and everything else is being put into it. I totally hear you, Chris. I mean, you could get an Edge 8 with 1,400 millimeter of focal length, perfect for galaxy season and everything like that, and put it on that mount, and you're not spending between $4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah,
or more, for that refractor, because to Pete's point, yeah, the color and the contrast are fantastic with a refractor, but trying to get something of that long of a focal length to try to compare apples to apples of a refractor towards an f7, Schmidt Cassegrain 8-inch to that 1,400, it's not going to come close. I mean,
nope.
you can't come close and have and not truly break the bank. It's not going to happen. I mean, heck, you can buy an Edge 8 like I have for around $2,000, and then you buy a reducer for like another 3, maybe $4.
Yep.
Something like that, and boom, you're set there. Versus if you wanted to try to do something with a refractor, you're spending almost double that. You're spending actually double that, if not more. So.
All right. Well, it's getting to be that time, fellas.
Yeah, definitely. It's been good stuff. Visual DSO, multiple focal lengths, and AP DSO, multiple focal lengths and speeds. Yeah, Jerry, the Edge 8, and I've talked about it constantly. I mean, Dan mentioned it. What I was saying this last week when I was listening on Friday. It's the Swiss Army knife.
It is. All right. So we do have to give away a $50 gift certificate. So let's do that. And let's see, we'll do that. And again, $50 to Woodland Hills. Here we go. Who's going to get the 50? Who's going to get the 50?
Can we get the 50?
Right between Ernie and Bob is Raymond Simons. So wow. Raymond, I'll send you an email and we'll get that out to you. Raymond Simons. I'll write that down somewhere. Awesome. And hey, it's been a great night. We did that pretty fast. Still on the fence for the 571 or the 455.
One shots. Yeah.
Yep.
And Chris, I'll be honest with you. I personally would love the Edge 9.25, because definitely you have so much more, you have so many more options there versus, I mean, then you can finally get into a full frame imaging circle.
Yep.
Versus the 8, which I think is at best APS-C, and I mean, and you may end up having to crop a little because there may be a little bit of vignetting on the edges.
Yeah. All right. So it's final thoughts, I think. I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
All right. Go for it, Eric.
Yeah, I would say for me, again, thanks everybody. I would love for us to see if we can, to Pete and Dan, to you guys' point, for us to have some more guests. But I also love the conversations and the questions. Tarek, that was a great question to share for this, and it was a great topic starter. So really appreciate that. But yeah, again, thanks everybody for joining us and showing the love and support. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Friday. Don't forget to vote for Image of the Week.
Yeah, go vote right now. 23 people there. We should definitely have more than 23 votes.
Yeah, and Image of the Month.
Yeah.
I think you can start voting for Image of the Month there as well.
Yep. All right, Pete.
Oh, always cool hanging out with Mr. Eric and Mr. Dan. Always a pleasure. And definitely, please, everybody, go vote. We got to get some votes for the images. So let's do that. And I'll definitely see you guys on Friday.
Awesome.
Cool. And listen, we're halfway through the month. So halfway through the year. So we're almost halfway through the year. We'll be, we're 5 months in on the calendar. So I'm going to be hitting up you guys for the high res versions for you pictures of the month winner out there. Send me your high res photos of the pictures, the winning pictures, because it will help me in the long run create. I don't have to create it at the end of the, for everything. It's gonna make it a lot easier. So great show again, really, really good. A lot of good information, a lot of good conversation, and thank you to everybody for hanging out and asking those wonderful questions. It's been a great time. And now I'm exhausted and I'm going to have some chocolate. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, absolutely. Tom, good to see you. And thank you for the people. Thank you to Charity. Thank you to Josh. Thank you for Newman for coming on last week and hanging out. Hanging out on the show. And we should do that more often. So we should definitely do that. And we'll be able to invite more people on. Astropalooza is coming. It is coming December 9th. I'm going to start getting some more guest speakers for that. So we'll see. And we'll see what happens. Well, it'll probably be some of the same repeat offenders as last year with new topics. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get some other ones. But we definitely got one new one. We got Dylan O'Donnell. So we definitely got one new one. So
that's awesome.
So
cool.
All right, everybody. Well, again, have a good night. And Mr. Simons, I'll get you an email regarding the $50 gift certificate. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate everybody. Just really tired. We've all had a hard week at work, all three of us. So
it's been rough.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been really rough, but it'll get better. It can only get better, right? So thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Eric, for coming on and chilling out. It's always a great time with you guys. So everybody, take care. We'll see you Friday night. And remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night,
guys.
everybody.
Everybody. Bye.